like Ken, like Success Academy, that is exactly what drives us towards greatness, towards excellence. I don't know about you, but more than anything else, I will never fail as a dad and as a husband. I want the American dream for my children, just like you do yours, but I want so much more. Our nation depends on strong, focused education and people like us stepping up and standing up. And we're excited to have you here. We're excited to see what's going to happen. And we're excited to see how far we can push education forward. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the state of Florida.
Okay, Florida Commissioner of Education Stasi Koumoutsas is hard-charging. He's done a phenomenal job, and I can tell you, parents in Florida, you got no better friend than Stasi, making sure that your rights are protected. Well, good morning, Miami. It's great to be home. Great to be at FIU with President Nunez. Great to see so many friends here in the crowd. I see Representative Omar Blanco. I see President Madeline Pumarriega, as well as Trustee Robert Alonzo and board member Dan Espino. It's great to be here in the community that I know and love. I was just here last week with Secretary John Davis. We got to speak to over 2,000 students in the neighborhood I grew up in, North Dade. I went to Dr. Kropp, and I had the ability to participate against some of the best in the district when it came to sports. And I got to go to my rivals' high schools as well and talk about the importance of their future, whether it was Miami Norland that just became an A-rated school. That's a big deal for our community. Whether it's Miami Carroll City, who also just got an A as a school, North Miami Beach, Miami Central, Miami Northwestern. It was great to visit with these students and see how much greater the quality of educators and administration is in the public school system because of charter schools, because of the competition that is now taking place. And Governor, I thank you for leading on that. I know firsthand just the challenges and opportunities that we deal with as folks here in Miami. My mother was a single mother of 3 kids, and she struggled her whole life, and she struggled to make sure that we had the best education. And so for our district, at that time, it was Dr. Kropp, and I was super thankful for the sacrifices that she made. There's so many parents in Miami that want the very best for their children, as well as throughout our state. And so thanks to Governor DeSantis, Florida is providing every family access to a world-class education, no matter where you live, no matter how much money you make. So thank you, Governor, for your leadership. Today's announcement expands educational opportunities for Florida students, but especially those most in need, by adding another high-performing option to our state's public education system. We are proud to welcome Success Academy under the leadership of Eva Moskowitz, and I want to thank you, Ken Griffin, for your investments as well to make sure that students that are often overlooked are prioritized in this state, where they're able, through Success Academy, to help raise the bar for academic excellence in these communities. Success Academy brings a nationally recognized record of academic achievement and school improvement. We're confident their unwavering commitment to student success will benefit students throughout our state, starting here in Miami. As Florida's newest approved School of Hope operator, Success Academy will play a key role in transforming persistently low-performing schools into high-achieving learning environments. Schools of Hope operators consistently outperform both district and state averages in states where they currently serve, delivering results for students who need it most. School of Hope operators are held to rigorous standards of accountability while offering innovative, student-centered solutions that empower communities and drive measurable success. With the addition of Success Academy, Florida is strengthening its commitment to ensuring that innovation, accountability, and academic excellence go hand in hand, especially in these communities with low-performing schools. Success will not just expand school choice options for families, but they will also ensure that students are prepared for their future careers. And I want to highlight, Florida was also just recently ranked for the 4th year in a row #1 in education freedom because of our stance on education choice, teacher freedom, accountability, civics. We continue to rank #1 in every metric year after year because of this governor's leadership in prioritizing education. And today, we are proving that all children, no matter their background, no matter their zip code, no matter where they live, they can have access to a world-class education. I couldn't be more proud to stand with our governor and our lieutenant governor as we add even more high-quality educational options for families across our state. So thank you, and God bless.
And, you know, one of the things that we've done since I've been governor is to say, you know, pay teachers more. And I agree. But the problem is like you send more money to school districts, they don't have to spend it on teachers. And a lot of times bureaucracies grow. So we created a categorical in the budget that, and it's now $1.35 billion, 1.38. It only can. Our charter schools teachers get pay increases. And look, you're not getting rich being a teacher, but like in Miami, it's a high cost of everything. It helps, and so we're going to be committed to continuing to do that. So you can anticipate us rolling out an even larger teacher categorical for next year, and that announcement will be forthcoming. Pleased to bring up the CEO of Success Academy, and they have had an enormous amount of success in New York City under a lot of obstacles that get thrown their way. And we had discussed coming down to Florida many, many years ago, and, you know, things kind of work out. And I think we've created now an environment where it makes sense for them to come. And I think Miami's just the beginning. I think where there's needs around the state, I think you're going to see Success Academy make a big, big difference. And so while we're here today and excited about what it means to this community, I guarantee you there's going to be other places around the state of Florida where you're going to see success in the years to come. So come on up.
Good morning. Very nice to be here, President Nunes. Thank you for your gracious hospitality. Governor DeSantis, what you've done in the Sunshine State vis-a-vis education is extraordinary, starting, of course, with school choice. But the recent legislation throws down the gauntlet that excellence matters. There is no state in the country that has made this kind of commitment to excellence. It is not only going to help the poorest and most vulnerable children in Florida, but I think you're going to set a national standard for the country. Because as many other speakers have said, despite recent successes, we have a crisis in public education. We have a crisis in America. If we look at our international competitors, we are not keeping up. And so having this emphasis on quality is a game changer. And it's why I am so pleased to announce that not only am I coming to Florida, but I am coming to Miami because of the work, Governor, you and the state legislature has done. I think... You know, I'm so excited to work with other Miami educators, business and civic leaders, and the diverse set of community leaders here in Miami. It's a little emotional. I have been fighting, as the governor said, in a blue state. I'm not used to being welcomed. I'm not used to people liking high standards. It's a little new for me. So it's just been really, really great to think about the amount of good that can be done. And it's not only success, it's really partnering with other charter operators. I'm passionate about all kids, whether they're in district schools or charter schools. We've got to get every single child to excellence. I'm also pleased to announce, and I have to confess a little emotional about this too, that Ken Griffin, who has been an incredible philanthropist for so many causes in this country, is making a $50 million gift to us to come to Miami and support the poorest children to achieve unparalleled educational excellence. I am extraordinarily moved by this, and I hope others are as well. It's really hard to capture in words the magnitude and the meaning of such an unprecedented gift. It is transformative to commit to our most vulnerable children and the American dream. Please join me in thanking Ken. And I'll just close by saying, Ken, you're not only helping the children of Miami and the Sunshine State, but you're sending a national message, like the governor, that children, poor children, matter, that excellence matters, that the American dream matters, and it's time to get going. Thank you.
Well, we're excited to have Eva and Success Academy, and I think the sky's the limit. As she mentioned, Ken Griffin has put up $50 million to help with this, and obviously, you know, the state, we're involved in the charter schools, but that's going to have an enormous impact. But, that is not the only $50+ million donation Ken has made in Florida in recent years. He's been incredibly generous. He's one of the top financial whizzes that we've had in the modern history of our country. He's built an incredibly successful company. I tried to get some stock tips out of him on the way over here, but he's a guy, he watches a lot of stuff, but has had an enormous amount of success because of America, starting his own business and doing it. But I think that his passion to help others, particularly with education, has really been unparalleled. And so when he moved the company down here a few years ago, yes, look, these are high-paying jobs. They contribute to the economy. But I will tell you, the philanthropic impact that he's had just in the last 4 or 5 years has been incredible. So this is another example of that. And I would, if I were a betting man, I would say it's certainly not the last example of Ken Griffin's really significant philanthropy. So come on up, Ken. We'd love to hear from you.
So thank you so much, Governor DeSantis. And today truly is a moment of celebration for the children and families across Florida. Under your leadership, and with the support of our state legislator, Florida continues to lead the nation in ensuring every child has access to a world-class education. And when I walked into the room this morning, I said to Eva, welcome to the state of Florida. All of us are so thrilled that you have chosen to come here to have such a profound impact on the lives of so many children in our great state. Thank you, and welcome to Florida. Now, I'm going to brag for Eva for just a moment, because I must give you credit for being humble all the time. But in New York City, Success Academy works with students who are in the inner city, who often come from very challenging demographic backgrounds. It is a remarkable testament to Eva and her team that these students in the state of New York placed first as a district in mathematics, and that the middle school children will usually outperform the high school graduates of the most affluent communities in the state of New York. It is a remarkable testament to your leadership and to your team's commitment. Now, I've walked the halls of success. I have spoken with the students. I have had the moments in the classroom where they're posed difficult questions that with my Harvard education, I struggled to find an answer to. We do need to work on higher education in America, don't we? But what I will tell you is I love the culture of optimism, rigor, and most importantly, high expectations. High expectations. Teachers and leaders who know that these children can have remarkable lives and make the personal commitment to bring the best out of these children. Jay Collins and I spoke before today's event for just a moment about our shared family histories. Jay grew up in a family with little, and I was very fortunate that I grew up in a family with some means, but my grandmother grew up in a house with no running water, like Jay did. And for Christmas, she had an orange. And like Jay and like the governor, we all firmly believe that education truly is the on-ramp to the American dream. And so, Governor, with your leadership, Eva, with the gift and commitment of your team, we will pave the road for tens of thousands of students here in Florida to join all of us in living the American dream. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm excited. I think this is a really important day for Florida. I just can't wait to see what Success Academy can do. And I just will echo what some of the other speakers had said, either explicitly or implicitly. We believe that kids from all walks of life have the potential to succeed. And Eva Moskowitz believes in setting those standards very high and working to make them reach their full potential, and she has a model that works. So we're already #1 for charter schools in those categories, but I have no doubt that Success is going to put us up even more. So thanks everyone for being here. I can take a couple questions before we leave. Yes, ma'am. So they will be doing, potentially a combination, right? I mean, certainly new schools. We also, with Schools of Hope, do have an ability when some perform poorly, where that can basically be taken over by a charter operator. One of the things that we have provided in the recent legislation is an ability for them to access empty space that we have in some of these schools because, quite frankly, poor performing schools get less enrollment in the era of school choice. Parents have the ability to go. So they're going to be able to utilize that. But so I think it's going to largely be, they're going to start new schools. But I do think, given Florida's Schools of Hope program and the ability to have a charter operator we just did one in the Panhandle not too long ago. So that would be an option as well. Well, I think that the reality is Miami-Dade College, they're using it as a parking lot. Oh, we got to see the president's here. Thank you. Okay, and so it's a site that they are interested in doing a presidential center on, and I think to have that done in conjunction with one of our state colleges is really monumental. Now, we had worked and negotiated possibilities at Florida Atlantic, here at Florida International, and I know they thought hard about that, but their preference was for this land next to the Freedom Tower. So you're going to have a presidential library in the state of Florida, which I think is good for the state of Florida. I think it's good for the city of Miami, but you're going to have Miami-Dade College be able to have programs that are going to be associated with that. And so we think it's appropriate. We think it's going to be good for the state of Florida. And think about this. Donald Trump is like the quintessential New Yorker, right? I mean, like, he was Queens, real estate, apprentice, all this stuff. And he's not doing his presidential library in New York City or anywhere in New York State. And I think that's a testament, one, how he was treated by New York City with the attorney general trying to take his money and the bogus prosecution. But also, the city has got a lot of problems. They may elect a mayor that's going to cause a spiraling out of control of those problems in November. And so I think the fact that they want to do it right here in Miami, right by that Freedom Tower, to me is a testament that they view Miami as a city on the rise and the state of Florida as a place on the rise. So I think it's a good signal for the state that they would want to invest into this area, and I think I look forward to being able to facilitate that process. Now, there may be other things that they're going to need to bring this to fruition, but I think this is the first step, and we're happy to play a role in that. So I think, and Eva can give you precise. I think her philosophy is, she's not going somewhere to do just one school. Like, she believes, and we believe in their approach. We believe that there's going to be a lot of places around Florida where this approach can make a meaningful difference in the lives of the students. And so I think Miami is step one. I absolutely would envision that you will be seeing Broward, you will be seeing West Palm, you'll be seeing Orlando and some of these places. I think that that's very likely. I think that's their model. I think that that's their intention. Now they got to go in and they got to start moving the needle here in terms of getting up and running and doing this. But they have an ecosystem in place with the legislation I signed where that can be done. So if we're here in 5 years, I would anticipate that you likely would have multiple success academies throughout Florida.
Governor, your thoughts on open carry, which is now essentially leveling in Florida as of today?
Well, it's something that I've always been supportive of. And the thing about it is, the political debates are interesting to me because, you can have your position for or against. But like when you say that the sky's going to fall if you have open carry, well, I can look at 40 plus other states that have it, and I haven't seen the sky fall. We already have under statute, mind you, permitless concealed carry, constitutional carry. That was a big deal when that was signed into law years ago. So I don't think it's honestly going to make a meaningful difference in kind of the daily culture of Florida. That would be my guess, simply because it hasn't really done much different in these other states. I think a lot of folks who are big proponents of the Second Amendment, I think their concern with Florida basically saying you can never open carry is if they have a concealed firearm, they sit down at a restaurant, they open their jacket, and then the firearm all of a sudden shows, have they committed a criminal offense for that? And it just didn't make sense. So I think that was really why a lot of people were opposed to Florida's blanket prohibition. But basically you had, I think it was just Illinois, New York, and Florida were the only 3 states that just had a flat ban. So I know media portrays it certain ways, but look at what other states, look at the laws of that. We're much more consistent now with the vast majority of states, even blue states, quite frankly. Vermont, for example, has had this since like the 1770s. And they're a very blue state. So yeah, I mean, I thought that was the proper reading of the Constitution, and it'll be something that'll be upheld in Florida. Yes. Well, I'd say look at what I've done since I've been governor. I mean, we have the highest per pupil spending we've ever had in the state of Florida. We've increased funding for our school districts every year. We've done the teacher categorical, which started, I think, at $500 million. Now it's almost $1.4 billion, and we're going to shoot for over $1.5 billion next year. Now the charter teachers are eligible for that too. But, you've seen public school teachers. I mean, our teacher of the year last year was at an event we did recently, and she was talking about how, she's gone up now $10,000, $15,000 over the last 3 or 4 years, and that's largely because of that. So we have done that in terms of supporting the school districts, because Miami-Dade's a good example. The reason why you have over 70% students not attending their local neighborhood school that they're zoned for is because the district has a lot of choice options. So it's not just private and charter. That's important. And you got a lot of that in Miami-Dade. But you have students that can go to other public schools within that school district. And I think that choice has been really good. But that choice probably would not have happened had we not been pushing choice in the other areas. And so we've done a lot of funding. That's just black and white in the budget. You can look at those over the years. Now, in terms of students, I think it's healthy that schools compete for students. I think it's healthy that a school is going to be in a situation where if a charter school is offering better programs and the parents have more confidence then, and they're losing students to that, then they're going to have to do something to earn the trust of those parents back. And so I think you get better through the competition, and I think it should be a competition to earn parents' trust and a competition for students. That is going to end up making things better. We would not have 1.4 million in choice programs if it wasn't for the competition. Most of those schools, because you have 500,000 private, 400,000 charter, but a lot of hundreds of thousands are within school districts, the choice programs within school districts. I don't think they would do that if there was no other option for choice. It probably would just be one system, and you kind of like when I was growing up. I lived in Dunedin. I went to Dunedin High School. That was kind of it. Things have changed, but I think they've changed for the better. All right, thanks, everybody.